Kentucky Spin. Our 4 core values: respect, education, dignity, empowerment. Established 1988, Kentucky Spin is a parent training and information center in Kentucky. Hi, I'm Nick from Kentucky Spin, back with another youth talk. For this youth talk, I'm going to talk a little bit about self-directed IEP meetings and a couple things to keep in mind to better help you control your IEP meetings. So first, what is an IEP? Well, IEP stands for Individualized Education Program, and it's a plan that is put together for people who might have special needs or require special services in school in order to help them be able to function better in class, as well as help develop transition skills and goals for after high school to help them all the way throughout education. And it has a team, and the team is typically comprised of teachers, other educators, as well as parents, and just people genuinely in your school that are involved in your education. So how would you prepare for the IEP meeting? Firstly, know your strengths and your challenges, the places where you're good and comfortable in, and know the places in school and in life skills that you might struggle with. This could be things like what subjects you're really good in, or maybe there's certain things that you aren't quite good with when it comes to like life things, like maybe with saving money. Maybe you have a job and you're not good at saving money, and that is a skill you want to develop. Or it could also be things like driving, or it could also just be subjects you're not doing well. And the IEP covers your education as well as transition skills. And we're preparing for the meeting, identify your goals. Know what you want to do after school. Know if do you want to go to college? Do you want to immediately go into the workforce? Do you want to go to a trade school or another form of post-secondary education? Keep this in mind when you're going to your IEP meeting so you can have this goal readily available, and the IEP team knows can prepare to help you meet that goal and all the things, all the skills and things that you'll need for it. The IEP is a very complicated, confusing document. You might also want to be prepared to ask questions, especially if you've never actually been involved in your IEP meeting. Maybe you've gone to your IEP meeting several times and you never really knew what an IEP was, but now you do. It's still a very confusing document, so consider having some questions prepared. If there might be some things you want to ask, or you can even talk to your special ed teacher or a different teacher or your parent before the IEP meeting to be prepared. When you know what you want to talk about the IEP meeting, and when you know what strengths and goals and things like that you want to go over, consider rehearsing before the IEP meeting. Practice talking to a parent or your teacher again, articulating and verbalizing your wants and goals. So that way when you actually do have the IEP meeting, you're prepared and you have practice. So now, after you prepare for the IEP meeting, the next thing is participating at the meeting, the actual meeting time itself. Some ways to help with directing your own IEP is to start by introducing yourself and everyone else. Tell them who you are. Well, pretty much everyone there will probably be a teacher that knows you as well as your parents. It's still good to introduce yourself and then go around a table and tell everyone who is present and what they do. So introduce your parents, who they are, your special ed teacher, as well as the other teachers and educators that may be present, and anyone else there that you know. Or if you don't know someone, ask them to introduce themselves. And then while participating in the meeting, as we briefly talked about, knowing your strengths and goals, share those at the meeting. Talk about them. Talk about your goals, your challenges, all that stuff. Have a list prepared so you can go over these with everyone, and so you can verbalize it. Because otherwise someone else will talk about your strengths and goals for you, and it always sounds better coming from the person that the meeting is for. And then again, I mentioned asking questions. During the meeting, ask questions. Be prepared for be prepared to offer suggestions. Maybe certain things aren't working in your IEP for you. Maybe extended test time isn't helping you as much as it should. Maybe you need a personal place, a private place to take the test. Just one example. IEPs cover a lot of different accommodations. But maybe some accommodations aren't working for you and you might need to try and explore other accommodations. And then of course, during the meeting, pay attention to what everyone else has to say. Pay attention to what the other teachers have to say, what your parents have to say, because they might have good input and things to say about you that you may not have considered. Or they may say some things that you think are incorrect. You don't want someone at the meeting making an assumption about you that you know isn't true, but you missed because you weren't really paying attention to what other people were saying about you. Again, the meeting is for you. Everyone's talking about you. You should try to, you want to be interested in what people are saying so you can correct things or approve of things that are being passed through. And then, of course, during the meeting and preparing for the meeting, very important, the most important thing to remember is that your voice matters. Your thoughts and ideas are important. The IEP team is a team effort. Everyone there is ideally there to help support you. So use them. Use them to your advantage. Use them to accomplish your goals. And also, like, when it comes to taking an active role in your IEP, IEPs, as I mentioned, very confusing documents. They have a lot of things that go into them. The meetings can be very stressful, very long, but you stepping up and choosing to advocate for yourself and deciding that you're going to direct the IEP meeting is a sign of maturity. And self-advocacy is going to be a skill that you'll need after high school. Because whereas during school and during your personal life, others, such as your parents or teachers, may advocate for you. Once you get into the real world after high school, you might not have those advocates. You probably won't have all those advocates. So you have to advocate for yourself more. So starting now at the IEP meeting is a great place to start if you're not already advocating. But other than that, that's all I have to say about self-directed IEP meetings in this format. If you have any other questions, or even if you take a look at your IEP yourself and there's some things you don't understand about it, some things you don't get, feel free to reach out to Kentucky Spin. We have plenty of experts on our staff, experts on IEPs. IEPs is one of the biggest things that we help with. We help a lot of parents with IEPs. So if you yourself have any concerns or questions about your IEP, things you don't understand, or want more specific tailored advice for how to advocate at your own IEP meetings, reach out to us. We can help you out. But again, I'm Nick with Kentucky Spin. If you need any more questions, reach out to our website, www.kyspin.com. Send us an email or give us a call, and we'll be right with you to help you out. Thank you. Visit www.kyspin.com.